It's the Kent Beck Scrum. We have Sam and Brad. News from me. We did the Elixir Phoenix mob, and we were pleased to not have any more ridiculous C9 errors. And we got, like the first acceptance test and all the unit tests passing, and the first bit of functionality done. And that was quite pleasing. So that was good. And then I had lunch, and that was good too. And then I have had the great pleasure of being in a pairing session with Paolo and Brent, and we have made some progress on the async voter project, kicking off one little tiny feature, drawing up the app, and then we are kind of blocked with it seeming that the app encounters a strange issue when we have it on the recommended versions of Node and NPM. So that is a block. And as soon as we finish Scrum, I guess we'll get back into it. Brent, anything to add to that?
No, not really. I've just installed MVM, so I'm just trying to run the tests again, and I'm with the specific version of Node, and I'm getting the exact same error.
Yeah, and what was the original version of Node that you started on? Was
5.10, I believe. No, 6 point something. I can't remember. I'll have to go back and check. It was, if I look at my history, if it goes back that far.
Yeah, I mean that's sort of our Scrum, really. So I mean, I'm tempted to just sort of carry on using this Hangout for the. I should send a link to Paolo for when he's ready, I think. Ooh, bonk. Okay, where's that?
Yeah, I was version 6.10.2 previously.
Right, and I think I was. You say 10.6.2?
No, 6.10.2. I think you were 6.11, wasn't you?
Yeah, I was 6.11 too, where it was working for me. Interesting. Hey, Paolo.
Hi, Sam. I'm back.
Yay, with coffee. Yes, enjoy. Yeah, so yeah, we've done the Scrum. It's just us. We can just carry on using this Scrum as a Hangout until you need to go. So it's all good. A great node savior has not jumped in and saved us. I have been doing searches of the codebase for the word logger, and there is a logger reference on line 43. And then I have there's big loads of node module caches. We have, and this is the thing about, I'm searching the whole thing, and I'm basically finding references to logger throughout, different node modules are referring to logger. And
I'm wondering if you have got it installed globally on your system, logger. Oh, no, you're getting the failure now, aren't you? Sorry.
I am now, but it may have been installed globally, but for one of my other versions of Node. I mean, maybe it's just a dependency that we need to specify. So if I was to come in here and say npm install logger -- save dev, or just save really, and then run npm test, it will fail again and say logger is not defined. Some of the, a couple of things pass.
Yeah, I'm getting exactly the same.
This is very strange. Reference error, logger is not defined. It's
This line 2 is mysterious, isn't it?
It's very strange.
This is I think that's because it's minified, isn't it? Because it's line 2, column 1172.
Right.
Yeah, probably has been minified somewhere.
Yeah, so is there a way that we can avoid minification? If you nodes, It's like, I mean, it's being like we're using Mocha here. Avoids minification. How to turn off JavaScript minification. Here that's doing, I mean, I guess it's called a running express. What's the, so we've got index here, express, polyparser, Redis. Right, so we require async voter, and we pass the app and the DB. And this is a stack trace. This is like an express. Avoid maybe we're going to do avoid JS express minification. Express minify. Are we using express minify?
I don't think.
Can't see it.
I don't know. I don't think so.
No. To mention. I mean, I've heard of these map trace things or whatever combined to debugging with like it's source maps, but it seems.
Sorry,
go on.
If you search for logger in that file, does it even show up?
We do have logger in the file. Actually, we have it in. I was finding it. We have it here, like, and interestingly, I know we have logger there. I mean, I guess.
Can we just
replace that? I noticed the one below. We have it as console log here.
Yeah, so it looks like we added that last time, and it's not working.
Right. And okay. Okay. So in fact now, well, I'm getting a different error from that. This is interesting. What I could at least do here is if I do git status for this, I'm going to git diff here. I'm just going to git add async voter.js like this and git commit -am remove reference to logger like that, and then I'm going to git push origin staging. So now both of you, you probably know how to do this, Brent, but Paolo, if you share your screen and go to the terminal, we could pull that change over to you and see if it has the same effect.
Okay. So I do git pull.
You could do git pull. Yeah, just git pull. Do you want to share your screen so I can?
Oh, I thought I did. I thought I did. No.
It often needs that second click. Sometimes I
start with the screen. Yeah, I had to select which screen to share. Now you can see it.
Yeah, totally.
Git pull.
Yeah, that could just work. Yeah, try that. Sometimes you might need like git pull origin. And it's so you've got some local changes.
What?
You want to type git status again? So you've got here changes to package JSON. You could just type git stash for the moment. I don't think you've got like important changes.
Git what?
Stash, STASH. Yeah, and what that will do is it'll basically just for that package JSON, it'll put that. We could pull it back if we need it, but so now you should be able to do git pull. Yeah. Okay. So now try npm test, and hopefully you will. I think it's unlikely to pass, but it should be a different error, maybe.
Yeah, I'm getting nothing similar to yourself.
Okay. All right.
I've got
so now
6 failing, but it's not for log.
Does this look like?
Yeah, I think that's.
Is this?
I think that's what we're. Yeah, I think you're saying the same thing. So the logger error has been removed, and then there's now different ones about. Looks like the validation is failing and other things. Praveen is here. Hey, Praveen, how are you doing? We kind of finished our Scrum, and we're just carrying on working on one of the blocks that we have from that, which is all sort of node stuff. Anything to report from your side, Praveen? I guess you're still muted.
Hello? Yeah.
Hello, Praveen. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, sir.
Excellent.
Oh.
Yeah, it sounds like you made a bit of a breakthrough on that website one OctaKit issue.
Yeah. So just wanted to know, there was this one doubt regarding this issue for website one.
Mm-hmm.
So we have this infinite loop, right? In the get stats contributed stats method.
Yeah.
Right. So we can simply either solve it by retry count, as suggested earlier.
Yep.
So also while I was going to write the specs, so I saw that we have hard-coded some of the.
Your audio broke up there. There was a hard-coded thing.
There was a project in GitHub commit, GitHub job stats spec, and @ project was assigned to github.com/agileventure/website1.
Okay. So yeah, it sounds like that needs fixing as well.
So if I want to make a new empty repo on which I'll write the failing test, so it might not be, I have to create a separate repo, and in the future I might, if I make it on my GitHub profile, I'll probably delete it.
All right, so we can make an empty one on Agile Ventures called empty repo, and you can use that. Yeah.
Right. Also, if you see the user profile or the user profile which have been written there in the spec file, it's also of Thomas Ockman or Kochman.
Yep.
Yeah. So these things are hard coded. So any way we can remove those things, or maybe mock them, or maybe.
Yep. That sounds excellent. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So I guess I'm just going to create this repository, and so now we have a empty project for you.
Cool.
Excellent. All right. Good stuff. I look forward to seeing your pull request.
Sure.
Fantastic work.
Thanks.
Nice one. All right, we're going to get back to, thanks, Praveen, we're going to get back to trying to fix our issue here. Yeah, so it's, now the interesting thing, Paolo, is I wonder, like, when I look at the, I'm just going to mute you, Praveen, if that's all right, because you've got kind of a noisy background. Paolo, these error messages, it's like saying, like, uncaught, I would say, like, expected to have a status code 200, but got a 403. That makes it look like that's our security check coming in. Do you know what I mean?
I have called with wrong verification token error.
Right.
It also seems to point that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I think, it feels like we need, like, I would have hoped that we would have addressed this last week, but yeah, how do we tell the test thing which validation token to use?
You had it up there. It was something from the environment.
Sorry, Praveen, it's very noisy. I'm just going to mute you again. Please don't unmute yourself. Yeah, I don't know, for some reason you're unmuted. I'm going to mute you. We're going to carry on using this Scrum for working. So if you can stay muted, Praveen, unless you need to make a comment, or maybe you can do that in the group chat. Thanks.
Sure.
Thanks.
In 16, I think we grabbed those two from the environment.
We grabbed those two there, right? but then, so yeah, we have the. Give me a second.
I'm not sure when we set them on the environment.
No, well, and I think the client ID and client secret can, in principle, be that. Do they even have to be set for the test to pass? I'm not sure. I mean, we've got this process env validation token here that I guess has to be on. Like we're doing. What are we doing here? Yeah, request body dot token. So.
Yeah, so every message that the Slack server sends to us, to this application, has that token inside it. And we're supposed to not show it publicly, so it shouldn't be in the in the repository.
I'm just thinking that do we need to add it to like some of these payloads in the like at the moment, if I just run node, and if I do like I presume that this validation token is going to be nothing, like it's not set locally, it's undefined. But so if we, for example, into the payload of the, like, so I was looking for, like, it seems like when we first make a request to commands, there isn't a payload. Where does the token have to sit? Like if we want, I mean, we're also using like .env to set things. We've got a .env example. I'm not using it. Do you guys have .env?
Oh, I have a .env example, but I don't have a .env.
Right. I wonder. I mean, this might be an interesting thing here to. I mean, I think maybe so sensibly.
We need a local .env file. Yeah.
We should copy .env example to .env, like for consistency. And then, I mean, that may break things. Or anyway, I guess what I'm tempted to do as well here is just I almost want to run one test and do the thing that Paolo was talking about earlier, which is just like have a little look at what is the. Can I just console log the body that comes back from the request? It's request.body and see what's in there. What I would like to do. Oh, actually, this is a cool feature of. They don't have this in the Ruby, is that I can say I want to just run this one test, and I can do like .only there, and then I should forget the screen record my thing. I do .only there, and then I can npm test, and rather than running all the tests and my screen being like filled with stuff, it'll run that one failure. Oh, okay, here we go. So now I can see here, like this was the request body coming in with text feature 1 and channel ID 1. So, right, okay, so we've got this. We're sending that. I'm always interested to have a look at there. I could put like the token in here. Yeah, like I could just stick, because this is what it's supposed to do in real life, right? And what, and in the absence of this, like, how were the tests all passing before? You know what I mean? Let's see. And that one, now that passes, and I also get like a big load of information about loads of stuff. Okay, which I don't really want to look at right now. So what we could then do following that is there's a send there that's like, it sends, it's a payload. I think I maybe don't want to put this into the payload. Do I want to put it like here? You know what I mean?
Action. Can you look at the line, whatever, 62 from the other side?
Yeah, and I've got we can sort of scroll them. Is that, no, I've got test over here. 62 here. I mean, it was doing a, like, sorry. So like here, send is taking a object with keys and so on, and just
Okay. I was referring to line 62 on the other side, but it's funny the two are both.
right, like here.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, well,
Kind of,
I think line 62. I mean, these two things are. No, you're right. You're right, because it's looking inside the payload there. The way we are checking it, so the token, and I guess we're doing that. That's because the way that Slack does it.
yeah, I guess that Slack puts the token in two different spots based on whether it's the original message or an action, I guess.
Yeah. So, so in principle, now, okay. So then we've got some other ones that are also running single running votes. So we've got another send down here, and this is doing another one. So if we want to make all of these work, so we need to make sure the payload there, and this is another one down here. Yeah, okay, and another one. There's another one. Like that. Okay. Okay, and so then, if I'm making sure to remove the only statement, we could do npm test there, and it's still undo. What? I just saved that, didn't I? Or did it not save? Only. Oh, I maybe added it in another place as well. Silly.
Okay, I'm just gonna be away for 1 minute. Okay.
Sure. Oh. Why can't I just delete this? Okay.
Control D. You've left the dot.
Have I? I have. Okay. All right. Now run all the tests and be green. Green. Yay! Ooh. Okay.
Cool.
Git commit -am. This is now. What have we done here? We've had ensure validation token is being passed by tests. Git push origin staging. So
I'll do a git pull.
yeah, I think we might have fixed it, Paolo. If you want to now again do git pull on your.
Okay, now I have. Okay, I have this .m file. I'll do git pull. Let's see.
Yeah. And I think the combination of those two things may allow the tests to go green, but we shall.
I've gone green.
Yay, green!
Excellent.
Do I have to set the validation token to something? Oh, this is whatever I use.
Yeah, it's
used for testing and the JS file, so it should be fine, right?
Yep. And I'm just going to go and look at the. Have we got the?
Okay, is this all green?
That's interesting. It says 7.6 or greater. Yeah, we're using 7.4.
Where does it say 7.6 or greater? Oh, on the
requirements.
Yeah, I mean that's like what's interesting here is there's no in the development it's saying npm still run the tests. It doesn't say about the end file.
But in the package install package.json, it's got 7.4, hasn't it?
It has, and I think that's that's an inconsistency which we will have to address. And I think we had that. I think they say this is now fixed, but note that README says use node 7.6 while we have 7.4 in the package JSON. So I mean, I think sensibly we just say 7.4. I assume that the actual thing that's running in the cloud is following what's said in that it's obeying what
so it's 7.4. Yeah,
I assume so. Although I don't know package JSON well enough, I don't like. Will this accept? This means only 7.4. I mean, there are these other styles of things that say something, or like I think this is like that or greater, right? And then this is like this is like anything at 1 point anything, and if this was like 1.0 to 1.0 point anything. So this is really locking
to a specific version. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, sensibly, I just changed it to 7.4 in the README, given that I'm just about to edit it to say to copy .env example to .env. Right. Well, that's nice to get it running green on both of your machines.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'll just update this. 3 and that's 4. Yeah, I mean, there is a more complex setup where we can get it so that you can like have your own Slack instance and you like run ngrok locally, and like that's intense. And I'm very happy to help people if they want to do that. But
whilst you're on this page, there was a question, because when I first came to this, there was a link. There you go. Sorry, keep going back up. There, async voter.tk. It doesn't work.
No.
That should be the case. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think this. I mean, one of the things that we put on to before that's unclear is like we have this app, and aspects of it are like published to a kind of an app store for Slack that in principle people could be running on their own systems. I mean, so Aresh, who's the guy who originally came up with the concept for this, he like, you know, did have it working on this at one point, and we were originally on that, but I kind of then moved it so that we actually had async voter underneath the Agile Ventures domain, where we have it now. And so in principle, like we could change that now to say like there's async voter. Do I have? Yeah. See, like in print, like this is like a place that you can, in principle, come to install things. I guess I could check, like, given that async voter TK does not work at all, I guess I might replace it with that one to make it look slightly less crazy. Although who knows if I'm storing up trouble for myself later on. Yeah, this one here itself. Now, I mean, that was it was a digital ocean instance, and I think it's gone. So yeah, certainly no point in having a dead link there. Yeah, I mean, and that's something that we could. I mean, there's a lot of it's deep, all this stuff. I mean, there seems to be a lot of power. I was the things that are on my one is we could be voting on more tickets to get stuff ready to be worked on. The other thing that's kind of just like a little for me is that the bot itself is using this default icon. Yeah, and I'd love to just change that. I may rest my voice and just in the background go into the settings for Slack and edit that. The settings for Slack for these things in the background are gosh, they're a big load of stuff. I'll tell you that. Yeah, how are you guys feeling about what you? I know Powell's got to go in like 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, no, but I'm really happy that it's working, because I can look at this, and because I know JavaScript, I can probably even start to work on some stuff in the future. So
cool.
So Sam, I actually have one other comment I wanted to make regarding the way we handle the action messages. So just for a few minutes, we could go back to maybe
the code. Yeah, totally.
I'll look at your screen here. And I mean, it's not very important, but since we're doing something that should be academically kind of robust, even though it doesn't really matter that much. But so imagine that there's a really, really late voter that clicks on on an action, on a vote, easy, medium, whatever, at the same time when somebody else is resolving the thing. So the way this is done, the way we handle the code can create a bit of confusion as to, well, actually, I think, well, that's another detail. The other one was if two votes actually come in at the same time. So say we all click together, and so if we look at the action handler with that in mind, that two votes are actually coming in together. What we do a repository get, which is synchronous, so that will later come back to us and we'll execute the inside of it. And so nothing is stopping the next message from being processed, and so the next vote will also reach this repository get, and it will get the same record without the previous vote inside, because the previous, so basically we'll get two concurrent actions being executed in kind of parallel, not parallel, but if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
Which means the second one that will then call the inside the repository set will only contain the one vote that they're adding, and the other one will be lost, the one that has just been set by the other. So that's one issue. They're accessing the DB twice, and there's no kind of atomic whatever operation check. So we would need to put these in a sequence. There's something I've done in the past which would resolve it as a kind of thing is have a chain of promises. So you start off, you have one handle to a promise. You start that off with a resolved promise. I've actually used deferred with slightly different procedure, but basically every time you're in this piece of code at line 61, you have received a new packet, you do call that the last promise, for example, the name of that variable, which you initialize to a resolved promise. You can do last promise equals last promise dot then, and inside that you basically have to resolve. That will be executed when the previous one has been resolved, the previous promise.
Right.
And the then is also a promise.
Right. So in that case, we're kind of holding the promise in the memory of the system, and then and then basically, if that resolves, then it allows the next action to execute.
Yes, you always store a pointer to the last one in the chain, and when you have to append one, you just do the last one equals last one dot then, and inside that. Yeah, I think the pattern is slightly different using promises and these deferred objects, which you can resolve from outside. Whereas promise, you do new promise, you have to put all the code inside. I'll try and sketch up a little something to tell you what I mean. But basically, it's quite a simple pattern that ensures that all of these are queued. Just execute this when the previous one has been resolved. And you only need to keep the handle to the last one, so you can append other incoming actions.
Right. That sounds. I'm definitely very interested in how promises work and how we can use them like that. That is an interesting thing.
I've used it on client side with Angular queue. A queue implementation for Angular, and it's slightly different. I've tried to see, what would this be with Node promises? I'm not really sure yet, but I can try and look something up for next time. But basically, yeah, we don't really handle concurrent actions at all. And if we get two votes, then the one that arrives slightly later will override the previous one, and the previous one will not be in the database.
Yes.
So that could be added as a task to resolve that issue.
Yeah. Well, you could open a ticket if there isn't one already, and that's something we could vote on a future occasion. Yeah, definitely.
I'm guess we should write a test as well to prove that that is the case.
Well, indeed. I mean, the thing that if we had it, the danger is that then, like if it's relying upon, effectively kind of like the waiting promise in the memory, if the app reloads, I guess it's not a big. I mean, it just if we introduce that thing that's kind of blocking, then I wonder if there are nasty states it can get into where it's kind of blocked and it's kind of stuck. But maybe that can't happen. Maybe that resolves nicely.
Yeah, I guess there is always a possibility of some error, so we'd have to handle the exceptions or whatever wrong. I guess.
But interesting to think about, and
well, one test.
Go on.
One test that we could add and see it break is if we introduce a slight delay in the database side, in the Reddit side. So we have a 0.1 second delay for every get or set we call. Then in a test, we could push 2 votes together, and we will see that happen.
Right. Yeah. No,
we'll see that
it could certainly be put under the microscope via the tests. Definitely.
Yeah, and I guess a really small delay should be sufficient, like a couple of milliseconds. Enough.
It's definitely interesting to think about. I kind of I will be tempted to lean on addressing the issues that can have the biggest impact on the experience of the users for Agile Ventures, but I think it's good to work on whatever interests us, and it would be nice to make the code as robust as possible.
Yeah, it should have the proper locks or whatever.
Cool. All right. Yeah. So I'm just thinking about in the background, trying to. I noticed that I think the funny thing is that we have these different apps, and so Aresh's one that he originally created is published to kind of the Slack app store, but our other ones are not. And that's something that we could also consider in the future about whether we want to make this service available to other people and keep it running and have them be doing their votes through it and so on. I don't know. Yeah, good stuff.
I guess it depends on the amount of people using it and the cost of the service to host it.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment it's hosted on Azure, and it's not, we're getting it as part of a free package. I mean, if it became very busy, I mean, it would be a lovely, if we could make it so it was really useful. I think there are many planning poker bots and things out there already. I don't imagine that, but it could be a nice way of publicizing Agile Ventures as, here's this nice thing we built, and then you put it on their Slack thing, and then we get data about how people are using it. Anyway, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Cool. Well, I'm really glad we could have you along for the rides there, Brent.
I've really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Good stuff. Yeah. And Paolo, so yeah, maybe we'll do this again the same time. I'll see about next week, but maybe definitely in 2 weeks, if not next week. Yeah,
that'll be fun. You just ping me the day before, and I'll be happy to join if I'm around.
Good stuff.
Okay, so Brent, nice meeting you. Hopefully we'll chat again in some other occasion. And
yeah, likewise. And yeah, if I'm available next week and you're happy to have me, then yeah, ping me as well.
Cool beans.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks,
right,
gents.
guys.
Speak to you later.
Have fun tonight, Paolo. Bye for now.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Bye everyone. Bye.
Bye.